Big beautiful rainbow back there, all over there. All right, everybody. Thanks for following along. Just kind of wanted to give you a very interesting update that where we are with this cancer journey. So about 2 weeks ago on Monday, John and I went in to see the surgeon, and he took a look inside just to kind of see if there was enough margin to be able to reconnect me so that I didn't end up with a permanent colostomy bag. However, at that time, he did determine that there was not enough margin, so permanent bag is where it was at. So we scheduled a follow-up for the next Monday, which was this past Monday, and the plan was to go in and see him and just kind of go over the details of the surgery, when to schedule the surgery. However, he had a little surprising twist to our visit. Gave us a little bit of hope, but I'll try and keep this short, but it's a very interesting story, so thanks for following along. Essentially, when I had my colonoscopy, they did 4 biopsies. So they were 4 pieces of tissue. 3 of the 4 came back non-cancerous. 1 of the 4 showed that there was a cell of cancer. So, at that, of course, the surgeon says, "You have cancer, we need to do surgery." During his surgery one day, he said he was in the OR and he got a call from his pathologist. And his pathologist said, "You know, it's really odd that 3 of the 4 were negative, and 1 of the 4 showed cancerous." That, coupled with the fact that the MRI and CT scan came back with no evidence of disease, essentially showing cancer-free, and the oncologist, the gastroenterologist, as well as the surgeon were all kind of baffled as to how there's still cancer in there. So what the pathologist proposed is that there was a potential for contamination somehow, somewhere along the line of the piece of tissue that they took. Potentially could have been contaminated, whether it be during the removal, during the transition to the place where they do the pathology, even in the lab, somewhere it could have been contaminated. So, with that being said, the surgeon and the pathologist decided the next step should be to send me downstairs right away and have some blood drawn, have that blood sent off, and see if it's a match to the tissue showing cancerous. Best case scenario, the tissue does not match my DNA or my blood work, which would mean that there was no cancer. Alternatively, if it did match, kind of back to square one, meaning that there is cancer in there, and we would proceed with, whatever next steps in the direction of surgery would be. So just found that to be a little bit interesting, and appreciate you all following along. Just wanted to share that update, kind of gave us a glimmer of hope in this crazy journey.